Bumstead might not be a bum himself due to all the trenbolone sandwiches and duck eggs he can afford, but does his diet say otherwise? Is his diet up to the standards of Mr. Physique, Mr. Olympia? And for anyone unfamiliar, it's a category of bodybuilding that basically means you don't use as many drugs as the other bodybuilders. So let's take a look.
No, either you don't use as many drugs or you're just not physically capable of getting that large. Prismo, what do you... Stop whacking things. This cat's just sitting on my lap.
At his day of eating on a bulk.
Alright, so meal number one, super basic. It's 2 whole eggs, 190 grams of egg whites, some turkey bacon, 2 slices of turkey bacon, and then I have 2 of these little oat bars that Courtney made. I don't know the exact what's in them, but she put them in her MyFitnessPal, so I'm gonna have to get it from her. But the total tray she made was 1,300 calories. Divided it by 6, I'm eating 2 pieces, so it's like 430 calories. And then I put this into MyFitnessPal, this is 278 calories, so my breakfast is only 711 calories. Normally it's a lot more than that, and I'm actually like starving right now. So if you're someone who has no appetite in the morning, which I know a lot of people do, especially once you've been bulking for longer, that's when that morning cardio really helps. If you wake up and you're just not hungry, wake up like 30 minutes earlier, do a little cardio, and it will help you eat more.
I mean, I've watched a couple of this guy's videos in the past, and I don't ever remember him having this much energy when talking, like he's caffeinated out of his mind, which clearly he didn't show as something he had before. But this first...
What? He's talking like a normal fucking person.
Meal is basic conventional wisdom, like what people think is healthy. Basically, low fat, whole grains. At least he did put some whole eggs in there, but we know the...
Yeah, so I wouldn't consider like the eggs healthy and the bacon and stuff, but I mean, as far as conventional sort of wisdom goes, lower fat foods, lower cholesterol foods, these are clearly better choices. But especially whole eggs, you certainly shouldn't eat whole eggs. And you shouldn't be eating fucking, bacon of any kind unless it's vegan bacon, maybe. And only maybe, because a lot of vegan bacon isn't even great for you. It does still contain saturated fat a lot of the time. But yeah, it seems like turkey bacon, it's a better choice than, normal bacon. And what's Frank's argument here? High cholesterol, high saturated fat foods increase your risk of heart disease. So yeah, he's avoiding some of that, which is a good idea.
The food quality that he's using here is definitely not, from a local farm, organic, the best you can get. He has the box.
So, I don't know what Frank's obsession is with local. He went on one of my live streams a while ago, and we argued about this. Frank was getting meat that was shipped from fucking Australia over to New York for him to process it and mail it to people, and he was claiming it's local. And then I said, okay, well, if it's from literally all the way around the world, how is it local? And he said it's local somewhere. So if Frank's definition of local is everything, why the fuck does he bring up local? He's not getting this from a local farm. Well, it's local to somewhere. I don't know what something being within close proximity to you affects the healthfulness of the food. Lord Freezer donates
bottle of ketchup there, which is clearly not some type of homemade or organic ketchup. Generally speaking, when the food quality is high, you don't really have anything to critique, anything to worry about. You remove all of those negative pollutants and chemicals that plague the modern food supply, and you increase the vitamin, mineral, and fatty acid content, balance everything out.
Frank can never back any of this up with research. He can never point to some sort of study that shows, oh, look, if you eat only organic, free range or something, you live longer. He literally just makes this shit up while criticizing other people for not providing evidence for their claims.
So that your body can function at its optimal. Conventional
Put
eggs
this
are
on
throwing their
faster
omega
speed.
fatty acid ratios out
It's
of
just
whack.
boring
They
me.
have estrogenic herbicide concerns, and of course, probably hundreds and hundreds of minor concerns we can't even list. Egg whites in that high of an amount definitely cause gut issues for most people. They deplete biotin. Turkey bacon is like the pinnacle of, like soccer mom health. Like, oh, pork bacon's bad for you. Let me get some turkey bacon. And it's just the same omega-6 laden crap because they feed turkeys and pigs basically the same. I mean, obviously this is better than a standard American diet, but I wouldn't say it's exceptionally healthier than most people eat. These oat bars are so horrible for your gut. Bananas have lectins and certain anti-nutrients that are horrible, really do cause leaky gut on their own. The egg, throwing the omega fatty acid ratios off even more. Those negative things we previously spoke about. And peanut butter is not a great choice. I guess it's not the end of the world if you have some organic peanut butter once a week, a couple times a month. But having that much peanut butter, hundreds and hundreds of calories on a daily basis is just putting your omega-6 so high. The mold, the mycotoxins, the other stuff that's typical to peanuts, something that's harvested conventionally, sprayed with so much stuff, stored in.
A lot of people who just don't know shit about nutrition kind of get confused over this, and they might be convinced like, oh my God, like, didn't know that, plant foods were such a big problem. If somebody can't actually provide evidence that these things like, I don't know, the lectins or the mycotoxins or something in something actually causes a problem, like if you can't show that like oatmeal or peanut butter or something increases risk of disease or death, clearly it doesn't fucking matter. So this is just complete fucking gobbledygook. He has no argument, so he just like fabricates ones. It's sort of like what Alex Jones does, where he has no evidence for any of his claims, so he'll just rant about fucking aliens or something and just scream his head off.
I bet Frank has to shave that unibrow to regular eyebrows before every video or live stream. I'm surprised he doesn't eat a vegan diet so his dick will have better blood flow for all that gay butt sex he secretly likes.
Well, I don't think that really matters much for him because he seems like more of a bottom to me. He also constantly talks about like sissy boys and fairies and stuff, so he projects a lot. I'm pretty sure he's like a bottom, so he doesn't really need an erection. But thanks for the nation, Vegan Ninja. Appreciate it.
Low quality conditions. Not ideal.
I'm gonna make those oat bars. Courtney made them. She posted them on her channel. But this is the boring little chicken rice. Sadly, I ran out of broccoli, so I had some peas and carrot frozen mixed in the freezer. I'm trying to get my veggies in still in the off season because I neglected that a little bit last year. This year, I'll be better. 230 grams of white rice, 165 grams of chicken breast, and I put in 10 grams of ghee butter. This is like clarified lactose-free butter, and it tastes fucking good. My parents used to always put butter in rice when I was younger, and it tasted amazing. So this is just a little extra fats. 10 grams of it, 90 calories, so a little bit extra in there. And yeah, this is what meal number 2 looks like. Keeping it simple and keeping it clean.
You would think someone whose livelihood depends so much on what they eat would know a little bit more about food and nutrition. Ghee is clarified butter, and all butter is lactose-free. I don't know why he said lactose-free. The difference between ghee and butter is that the milk proteins are removed, not the lactose, which is the milk sugar. And on paper, if this entire meal was organic and he removed the vegetables, it would actually be pretty healthy. But it is kind of hard to source chicken that is of high quality since he's not using high-quality organic ingredients. What type of feed was the chicken getting? What type of water was the right?
Yeah, clarified butter is absolutely horrible for you. It's worse than normal butter. A lot, and it's really weird. I don't know why this is never brought up in like these cholesterol denier communities. They will go on and on about how like oxidized LDL is so bad for you and everything. And it's the oxidized LDL that's the problem, not like the LDL quantity itself. Well, ghee actually produces, like if you consume it, it actually causes your oxidized LDL particles to shoot up like crazy, because if you look at the way it's produced, it's processed at high heat for a very long period of time. It's probably why it does that. So it's really weird how people like Frank will go on about how, oh, it's like the oxidation process of LDL that makes it, harmful. Well, ghee produces, like, if you consume it, it actually ends up causing you to have more oxidized LDL particles in your blood. So, don't know why he considers it a health food. Even by his own standards, it's terrible for you. Chicken isn't great for you either. Don't know why this would be considered a healthy
Rice
meal.
growing. How polluted is everything? Throwing a bag of frozen vegetables into your meal is worse off than not having them at all. Most people are not deficient in the nutrients that are contained in vegetables. I mean, you could go your whole life without eating them, as most of our ancestors did, and be perfectly fine. The ghee on paper.
What is this claim? Most of our ancestors never ate vegetables. What the fuck is he talking about? Let's see. Common vitamin deficiencies. Actually, it is relatively common to be deficient in folate. And folate deficiencies are especially dangerous for pregnant women because they can lead to birth defects like Down syndrome. So no, there are nutrients in plant foods like folate that a lot of people aren't getting enough of.
Paper is a good source of fat because it's not super high in omega-6. Usually grass-fed is pretty accessible and it keeps things in balance.
I'm now eating meal number 3. I have 156 grams of ground turkey, to be specific, and 300 grams of raw weight sweet potato. I weigh my sweet potato raw because I only cook one meal at a time and it would just be weird to not do it any otherwise. And I'm putting my sriracha combo on this, and it actually tastes so good. I lather it in sriracha and then a little ketchup to dim down the heat because I'm not very good with hot sauce.
This is typical bodybuilding stuff, what the average person thinks is healthy. Ground turkey, lean protein, no fat. Sweet potatoes, of course they're healthy. I'm not a fan of either of these sources of caloric energy or nutrition in general. I think, beef, venison, some type of ruminant meat, or the highest quality poultry or fish that you can access is a much better source. Going conventional is always going to have omega-6 concerns. The meat is just so full of chemicals and antibiotics and stuff you don't want to be consuming. And I've never found one person that digests sweet potatoes well. I'm kind of against them as a carbohydrate in general. I think white potatoes are okay, like russet and red potatoes work for some people.
This is just complete gobbledygook. Oh, chemicals, this, pollutants, that. This is just nonsense. I've never found one person who digests sweet potatoes well. What the fuck does that mean? This is insanely fucking boring to watch, man. These are like Frank's worst fucking videos.
But the rice, the grains seem to be better on most.
He just says the same fucking thing
especially
each
from what I've seen
time.
when people eat sweet potatoes.
It's not organic. There's fucking chemicals in it.
All right, pre-workout snack is going to be a little apple before I head to the gym. I like having fruit because fruit is health and health as well. And some of none other than the C-Bum pre-workout. Today,
so he's saying very, very, very taken for granted, appeal to authority stuff. Apples are obviously healthy because fruit is healthy. Apple a day keeps the doctor away. It's just nonsense. Just look up an apple on a nutrient database, and all you really see is that it has a small amount of vitamin C, which is negated by the high sugar content, and a very small amount of B vitamins. Apples are
What the
great
fuck?
for the high water content, the volume, the fiber, the gut motility, but some people don't digest them too well. And of course it's not organic. So, how many chemicals are in it? I mean, I've eaten.
This is the same thing over and over again. I'm fucking bored of this shit.
We
Let's
spoke
see.
about the dangers